This Druid build just continues to get even more perfect for anybody with limited time to invest in playing, but still hoping to maximize the results of the season. And to be clear, the build of course works if you play more as well, but the entire design was done with the mindset of helping others who don't have the luxury of no-lifing or playing hours on end. In fact, later in the video you'll see some World Tier 4 gameplay that doesn't use a single glyph higher than level 1, meaning you can really have minimal time commitment and succeed with this build. The basics are 3 essences which are all acquired from normal dungeons whenever convenient. No vampiric powers are essential to aid your leveling, and no required legendary or unique items are needed either. This combination makes it ideal for anyone looking to just pick up Druid or swap to the build at any point. My previous video covering the build can both be found in the description if you want to check them out, and they detail the leveling process up to 50. However, those videos were made under the assumption that most players would respec into another build near level 50, and you don't have to. In fact, using the Paragon points and finally equipping vampiric powers, which I intentionally left out of the other videos, to prove that none of this was needed and your RNG can be as bad as possible and you can still get your levels. Well, these have basically ascended the build to new heights. Now of course Paragon points and vampiric powers will make any build stronger, but what it does for this build is dramatic because it enhances certain features that allow us to clear even faster and continue leveling at an amazing rate. Hemomancy provides a frequent high damage AoE that also provides us with a heal to help top our health off, and this additional damage is enough to finish off enemies if they've been hit by Pulverize, meaning we can reserve some spirit for the next big clump of mobs and essentially move around the map faster than before. Anticipation reduces the cooldown of Grizzly Rage by 20%, and this just means our uptime is increased, which adds even more survivability and damage output to the build. Domination increases damage to anything immobilized by Poison Creeper and can outright kill injured mobs, allowing you to just cast it and move on. Now these are just 3 examples of some powerful additions you'll pick up as you begin to unlock the vampiric powers, but there's a lot of flexibility, and don't get the impression that these are the ones you need to have. Experiment with the ones you're able to unlock as the build is strong enough to clear regardless, and again, the emphasis of this build is on as few specific requirements as possible in order to make the build succeed. Remember, I leveled to 50 without a single one equipped, just to prove it was possible so I could be confident you'd get the best version of a viable build that completely removed RNG. Some of the reasons we'd continue using this build include gaining more Paragon points, the ease of being able to just equip virtually anything you find without enchanting, imprinting, and so forth, which will allow you to save gold and materials for the best pieces you find during the season, and it's just super satisfying to slam down on the ground, wipe the screen, and see the experience bar fly by. As you move into Paragon boards, Survival Instincts has a lot to offer as well. You'll get increased werebear damage, increased overpower damage, and this build makes frequent use of that with guaranteed procs, more armor, additional damage based on a difference in life between you and the targets, and more. Now, I've rotated the board, and all the information is available on D4 builds, the link of which is in the description as well, but check out the glyphs. They're just level 1 because nothing is required to still make great progress at this point. As promised, here's some World Tier 4 footage at level 60. Glyphs are all level 1, using just 2 of the 3 recommended essences, and you can see it's still no problem. The biggest suggestion I have is to just keep moving. You don't want to be stationary with this, or any build really, but in the case of this build, play around your cooldowns before you engage. Then unleash your inner beast and profit. The slowest part of this build is actually picking up all the loot afterwards. Give the build a try. I can't recommend it enough if you're short on time to play the game. My next video covering this build will showcase pushing into Nightmare Dungeons, leveling these glyphs, and the route of Paragon boards that I'd recommend. So check it out once it's available, as we continue to push this leveling build to the limits. Thanks for taking the time to watch, and have a great day.